What is a reason you are glad to be single? I can do whatever I want, whenever I want without checking in with anyone. Also, no woman should have to be subjected to my toxic family. You shouldn't be subjected to your toxic family either. I shouldn't, but I don't have much of a choice right now. That's a mood. I hope you are able to get away ASAP. I know how it feels to be stuck with crafty people. Yep. After my only surviving parent passed, I moved 2,000 miles away from toxic family and community. I'm totally free to be me and live the life I want. I can't wait to be able to this when I turn 70. My immediate family has some effing eternal life serum they haven't told me about. The double whammy: looking out for yourself and others. A lot of people I know who've ruined their lives did so over a lover. Whether trying to get one, keep them, or fighting someone else over them, relationships can be very dangerous if you're too emotionally immature. Edit. Thank you everyone for the upvotes and awards. I really hope this helped someone see a bad situation clearly, or avoid one. And I've especially enjoyed reading people's accounts of learning from their mistakes. Love has a habit of making fools of even the wisest people, but that doesn't mean it's worthless or fake. It just means a new chance to find the right person to share life with. Love really messes with your brain chemistry in a powerful way. It's such a potent drug, especially when you add that to unhealthy dynamics. Makes the highs higher and the lows lower. Totally. I read that it takes a while for your brain's dopamine response to quit reacting so poorly after a breakup. It helped me through the early days of some bad breakups to know that time literally does heal. Edit. Seems like a lot of folks connected with this. Which many of you asked for. Be nice to yourselves and don't push yourself to get over something quickly, but if you're still struggling after a while, check in with a healthcare provider. Web link. Thanks, I really needed this today. I'm 3 weeks into getting over a 9-month period of back and forth with my ex after she broke up with me in January. Crap is rough, dude. The only thing stressing me are my own stressors. I don't have to help support someone else through theirs. Interestingly enough, I always hoped I could be the person someone would come to after a bad day. I also hated feeling helplessly unable to cheer my ex up when they had a bad day and I couldn't go see them. There was nothing I could say or do, as simple as listening or just being present, that seemed to relieve my ex's bad days. She cheated on me, but I did love her. I hope she is doing well and happy. Mother, be honest, the cheating part kind of effed me up. 5 years later, I have no desire or interest to date someone seriously. The pain and embarrassment wasn't worth it, and I'm totally happy and successful by myself. I feel like dating someone only leaves potential to take that from me. Not much they could add to my current situation. Maybe in a few years when my friends start having kids. Who knows? I feel like I intentionally sabotage now for fear of being hurt, as ridiculous and cliché as it sounds. Even when I trust, there's just a part of me that's fundamentally broken. It took me many years to even start going to therapy, but it's a good start. There are a lot of affordable options. Took me trying to kill myself to get to the point of going, and I don't want others to make that mistake. I didn't realize how emotionally exhausted I was from their issues. My therapist discussed with me that a major reason for having such heavy anxiety after we broke up was because so much of my life was spent worrying and dealing with their problems first, that since they aren't there anymore, my mind didn't know what to do with all of this extra space to occupy. It really made me recognize how often I put myself second. I'm naturally very empathetic and a people pleaser. It's a part of my brain that goes into hyperdrive when I'm with someone I like. It's not even conscious most of the time, but it can be exhausting. It's nice that my brain can turn that part off when I'm alone. Also, I can wake up and go to sleep at any time I want without messing up my so's sleeping patterns. And middle of the bed. And not needing to check in with his plans. I'm a burnt-out people pleaser. I'm learning how to put myself first and not just do everything I can to make everyone else happy. Same here. Good luck. It feels odd, but I've almost tried being kind of in butthole. Like doing things I think are selfish, but in reality I have every reasonable right to do. For example, saying no if a friend asks for help with homework and I'm too busy with my own to do it. I sometimes still feel bad but also don't like being taken advantage of. So if you can get over the manufactured guilt like this, you should be good. Good luck. I can do whatever I want and not feel guilty about spending time with no one. This was my exact thought. Do what I want, whenever I want. As a married man, with kids, this is probably what I miss the most. Especially kids, man. It's one thing to have a partner around to have to get permission from to do things, but kids is a whole different story. No matter what I want to do tonight, my kid is going to wake up at 7 a.m. Needs to be changed, fed, etc. I raised my 2 younger siblings, so I definitely know how it feels. I was around 3 when my brother was born and we would entertain ourselves for hours. 3 years later my sister came along and I was 6 years old. I had to take care of my little brother and sister. My mom would still feed and bathe us then. When I got to be about 8 is when I had to take care of the both of them full time. I had to take care of them until I was around 14 or 15, I want to say. I bathed them, clothed them, watched them, babysat them, read to them, helped them with homework, played with them, taught them what I was learning in school, got them ready in the mornings and to go to bed at night, and I loved them so much. My parents were addicted to meth but now are much better. They were still around if we ever needed anything, and obviously they told us they loved us every day, but they were always either in the backyard shed smoking it or crashed on the couch or upstairs. We still had a good childhood, well, as good as one can have living off of food stamps and $20, $100 bucks a week. We just didn't have internet or cable and that was fine. We played outside and loved it. They're better now and we're making $80,000 or more a year now. I'm so close to my siblings and would do anything for them. I shielded them from the violence between our mom and dad. It was awful, but I couldn't let them see it to the extent that I had. I try to think that I did the best I could and I love them so much more than just a sibling, they're my world. They were pretty much like my kids. They're both so smart and well behaved in school and I'm so proud of them. It makes me so happy inside. Sorry I rambled, but anyway, thanks for listening to my TED Talk. Embarrassed smiley face. You are an absolute saint. Thank you for letting me see this. No thank you. I'm just glad people like listening. It always feels good to get it off my chest. I go to a therapist, but it just feels awkward to tell them those kinds of things even though I've been seeing them for around 4 years. I'm female to male transgender and really hope to have kids one of my own one day. I also have PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, unfortunately, and might not be able to. I'll always adopt though, even if I can have my own. I want to have a huge family and a high-paying job one day. I want to save as many kids as I can from being in the system and let them know that someone does care about them, because me and my siblings were taken away twice, so all we had was each other. I rant way too much. Sorry, embarrassed smiley face. That's just till they are 12-ish. Teach them breakfast, early. A 10-year-old can do bagels, cereal, frozen waffles. By 12 they get up, fed themselves, find something to do. It's all good. Just have one adult capable of getting up in an emergency. Dad's night out, no big deal. So you creep in after last call. Sleep and let the home run itself for a few hours. They like their quiet time too. My friend has 2 girls. He said the best day of his life was when he woke up on a Saturday, came downstairs and saw his one daughter had got breakfast for herself and her younger sister. He immediately went back to bed. Is this a real story or an urban myth? I have an 18-month and a 2-week-old. I don't believe sleep exists anymore. Real story, my friend, but I'm afraid you've got a long way to go before it happens, haha. My eldest is 9 and I can confirm it is starting. Weekdays though they still need help with the rush to be ready for school, but weekends are fine. Most of them also don't need to be changed by 12. Well, mostly. Yeah, usually I can tolerate it till about 1 or 2 before my wife needs to change me. Kind of freeing, I suppose. It absolutely is. No use in waiting to experience or try things just because there isn't anyone to tag along. If there's a show I want to see, I'm going to go see it instead of sulking that no one else is interested. So far, 0 regrets. I have been single most of my adult life and I find it really annoying when I am living with a partner. I had a partner who snored, and that really affected me with the lack of sleep I was getting. And you get set in your ways, then all of a sudden you have someone wanting you to do a whole bunch of things another way. I don't necessarily prefer to be single, but I prefer to live on my own. I feel this. I want a partner, but I need my space or else I'll get cranky. And I'm a super sensitive sleeper and cannot stand snoring. My wife and I started sleeping in separate rooms around half the time. It's great to have that little bit of freedom and space back sometimes. Doesn't affect any other parts of our relationship. Wife and I shopped around to find a house with a decent upstairs and an unfinished basement. She's OCD and I'm a slob. She likes peace and quiet, and I'm a raucous recording musician. So I've got a soundproofed floor to myself, notes stapled to the bare wood walls, concrete floors, clutter. She's got her immaculate upstairs. We don't have any say over each other's space. I treat her space like I'm a guest and keep super tidy. After all, the bathrooms are up there and I often cook dinner. It works out crazy well. We both were kind of done with relationships when we met, but we're so happy to meet somebody else so willing to give the other freedom. That was 8 years ago now. We're still like best friends and giddy in love. I really think that the liberties we allow each other keeps us in a place very similar to the dating phase. So excited to see each other and go to each other's place. If it's not obvious we don't have nor want children, that's a whole different ballgame. Epping freedom. I love the single life. Call me selfish, but this is it in a nutshell for me. The freedom to wake up and go to sleep when I want to decorate and organize my home, that I bought and paid off on my own, as I like, to make my plans and schedule as I see fit, to watch/read/play whatever I want, to buy and wear whatever I want, to cook and eat whatever I want, and not have to share, and make long-term financial and career goals without having to worry about it conflicting with someone else's. ETA, there's a lot of comments where people are saying that they are in a relationship and have all of these things, and that I must have been in some type of abusive relationship prior. First, no, I have not been in an abusive relationship, but have seen numerous friends have to change their lives for a partner. Second, I'm sure there are plenty of wonderful and healthy relationships out there, yours included, perhaps, but every relationship, especially if you're cohabitating and or married, involves some amount of sacrifice and compromise. Big financial decisions, especially if finances are merged, require both partners to be on board. Closet space, bed space, kitchen and bathroom space need to be shared. You can't fill up a shared closet or counter space with just your items. When you wake up and go to sleep may not be dictated by your partner, but you need to be considerate of him/her when you do so. Especially if you have children or pets together, you can't just schedule plans without letting the other person know and making sure those dependents will be taken care of while you're out. There are also usually some shared groceries and meals, so unless your partner has 100% the same food preferences as you on the days you have it, there are days you need to compromise on that as well. I'm not saying all relationships are bad and that you can't have a net benefit from being in one, versus being single, but being single works best for just me and my life. And that doesn't have any impact on yours. No kidding, brother, I've been in various long-term relationships since I graduated high school. Always lived with girlfriends and or roommates. Always following the path of the girlfriend because they had clear goals that they were following. I got out of my most recent relationship at the beginning of 2020. Living in a town with no family, and very few friends. I was so scared at first, I really didn't know how I was going to do anything alone. But brother, I am thriving. Sure, it gets lonely sometimes, but the freedom of single life is something that I will never take for granted. It's changed the way I approach relationships. I used to settle, but now if I see that I'm not 100% interested in the girl I'm talking to, I let her know and move on. Yup. I get to play video games, watch movies, build the most expensive Lego sets, and focus on my job a lot more while totally uninterrupted. I hate having to check my phone constantly because I might miss my partner's texts and have to deal with a stupid argument. Not saying all partners are like that, just in my experience. Plus, not having to wonder whether they're into you for you or just for your Bionicle collection. It's always the Bionicles. I'm not a huge fan of the single life, but in the past when I've been in a relationship, I always felt like I needed to check my phone 24/7. I like being able to just chill and play video games, watch a movie, hang with friends without checking my phone consistently. I agree, I texted with my ex way too much. I wish we had just FaceTime to talk instead. Even better, hung out in person much more. I definitely think this changes with age. When I was younger, there was definitely pressure to answer texts immediately in relationships, but as I have gotten older, people don't seem to expect it as much anymore due to jobs or other responsibilities going on in their lives. This is so true. I'm now in my early 30s and honestly couldn't give less of a F about texting people or replying to most texts. I'm a digital ghost. If you need me, then call me or send me a voice message. Life is too busy to have time to sit and text. My friendship group is now well enough established that communication doesn't need to happen regularly. We all have a mutual understanding that we're all just there when we either need each other or want to hang out. Also, F social media, that crap is poison. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.